try one more. Hi, I'm Jeff Strong. I'm creator of Rhythmic Entrainment Intervention. And today I want to talk about the number one question people have when they start the program. And that is, how and when do I listen to my recording? You've probably tried one of our demos or maybe one of our other CDs, and you kind of have an idea of kind of what the process is. And we talk a lot about the volume, set it in the background, turn it off, the volume off, and then turn it up until you can barely hear the occasional note. Don't listen to it actively. And if you watch the videos we have with the demos, you had a chance to kind of experiment a little bit. You probably tried it different times a day, tried some different volumes, just experiment and see how you responded, or your child if you're playing it for them. But you probably still have a couple questions about it. And the number one is, do I actively need to listen? And what happens if there's a lot of activity and noise going around in the room? Do I turn it up to accommodate for that? And what happens if I don't get to listen all the way through? So those are the main questions we get. The volume-wise, set it so it's in the background. If there's noise or other things going on in the environment, that's totally fine. That's actually more work for your nervous system, so that's a good thing. So say you play it in the afternoon, and you have a child, and you're playing it for your child, and you have another child who's in the room, and the kids are playing, and they're making some noise, and the noise is going up and down as they're laughing or playing or whatever they're doing. Where do you set the volume? Well, you set the volume so that you don't notice it. That if you have to listen past their activity, you can hear that there is music on, but you're not really noticing it. That should be sufficient for most people. If the person who's supposed to be listening is coming and going from the room, that's okay too. Make sure they're in the room more than they're out of the room, and it'll even out, because tomorrow they'll be listening and in and out of the room at different times. And in general, you'll have enough stimulation, it'll work out. So don't worry about getting every second of the recording in. It's okay to have them come and go. You don't need to chase them around with the player. Most people, like I said in the introduction to our program, is that they play it at bedtime. They'll turn it on when they turn off the light. It's okay if they fall asleep to it. If you're playing it for yourself, it's okay if you fall asleep to it. You want to hear most of it. And if you're falling asleep 5 minutes into it every day, we might want to talk about a different time of day. But most people take 15 or 20 minutes to fall asleep anyway. The custom tracks are only about 25, 26 minutes. That's fine. You're asleep for just a little bit of it. That's totally fine. We don't recommend that you turn it on after the person you want listening falls asleep. It doesn't work quite as well, although we will do that if there's resistance. And if we're running into resistance, and that's the only time that we found that's going to work, we're going to be talking with you anyway to figure out what the best solution is. So we'll work with you to make sure that we develop a schedule that fits and achieves your goals. So basically, don't worry about activity levels. It's okay if there's noise while the recording is played. It's not necessary to listen to the music. And that really is the number one thing that we run into, is people think, especially if they're having their child listen to it, is that they're concerned that the child's not going to get enough of the stimulation, that they're not going to get results. And if it's on in the background and it can be heard at all, it doesn't have to be listened to, then we're going to see results, because the key to this program is we're always adjusting. And if we're 3 weeks into it and we're not seeing what we expect to see at 3 weeks, we're going to be talking with you about when and where it's played and what's on that music. And we're going to adjust accordingly. If we need to turn the volume up, we'll turn the volume up. If we need to choose another time of day, like put it in the car, we'll put it in the car. If we need to shorten it to fit a commute that you have in the car, we can do that. The goal here is to make sure that it's easy for you to do. Just no headphones if you can help it. Play it every day. Keep it in the background. Don't actively listen, and you should be good to go. If you have any questions, call us at 800-659-6644 or email me at jeff@stronginstitute.com.